Get the hell out! Oh. My God! Stop! Oh my God. This famous scene from Angelo Moordenar's Nightingale remains to be one of the most horrifying moments in film history to this day. This documentary discusses and highlights Moordenar's pioneering filmmaking that will forever torment all audiences. Born in 1915, Moordenar grew up in the forgotten forests of Maine, just near Canada's border. The town was called Middleton. People often describe it as a small, tired, and worn-down place. The only thing that stands out about the area is the distinct and pungent smell from the town mill. Moordenar described it as a town no one new enters, no one living there ever leaves. Unfortunately, we don't have many interviews to show about Moordenar's childhood spent in Middleton because whenever we asked, local citizens would have no comments. Strangely enough, no pictures from Moordenar's childhood can be found. He never speaks of a family life and rarely brings up his childhood. In fact, we don't really know what inspired him to pursue filmmaking as a career. But in 1939, Moordenar came from nowhere and made his first film, Miss Larva in the Lime Bedroom.
The thing that stood out for me the most when Miss Larva came out was the reaction that the press and the audiences had to our Catharsis crew. I guess nobody could really understand how 11 freaks, who by the way had no prior movie-making experience, could spend the rest of their lives making such gruesome horror movies.
I remember when we shot Miss Larva, the doubt in the crew members. No one had any idea of what Moordenar envisioned as a whole. It was in his eyes. Everyone always asked how I knew. But it takes one to know one.
Moordenar didn't want any common idiot behind his films. That's why we all worked together. We shared all the same common beliefs. We loved gore, adored the unknown, and hated everyone in society.
Now let's check out this terrifying scene from Miss Larva in the Lime Bedroom. It was responsible for giving 5 audience members heart attacks and sending several critics running from the theater.
Ah, ah, ah. Rock-a-bye wood on the treetop. We will never the cradle will rock. The baby is sleeping.
To this very day, audiences question how Moordenar made such realistic horror scenes. The Catharsis crew was the group hand-picked by Moordenar to shoot and organize his horrific films. The crew included ex-prisoners, painters, and suspected bootleggers from the Depression.
When The Oaks was released in 1944, audiences had already built up such anticipation that nothing could have matched their expectations for the film. As a matter of fact, Moordenar really didn't care whether the audiences liked his film or not. In fact, he really wanted to disappoint and aggravate them. But when you criticize his work, that was another story.
It was a good movie. I thought it was a good movie, but nobody liked it. I was mad. We had to get out of this scum world. We were mad. I was mad.
After The Oaks, Moordenar mysteriously disappeared for 22 years. Some people claim they spotted him in Alaska. Others claim they saw him in Brooklyn's worn-down hotels. For the first time in history, Moordenar agreed to do an interview with us.
It doesn't matter the location I went to, all that matters is the state of mind I entered. I just remembered seeing the world for all it was. I was able to detach myself from all human emotion. I no longer felt happy, scared, insecure, or sad. I thought about how much time the average person spends feeling sympathy for a loved one or a friend. I want nothing to do with it, any of it. Sympathy is a distraction. I spent these years of clarity writing poetry and several journal entries. Reality, the feeling of fangs sinking into your neck. It's when you realize the ghost that lurked behind your staircase, the monster in your closet, all your worst nightmares, they really exist.
After many years, Moordenar returned to create what audiences worldwide still consider the most frightening film in media history. Sleep Book, Moordenar's take on a Dr. Seuss book about sleep.
I was in a strange place and got a script. It was a masterpiece. It kept me going. Yeah, Moordenar has the gift of showing death as the beautiful thing it is.
I never really thought Dr. Seuss's Sleep Book was about anything other than murder. The first time I read it, I took it as a children's book about death.
The only thing more shocking than Moordenar's movies is the fear he and his catharsis crew put into the actors they hired.
I hate actors and actresses. They try to steal the show when the beauty actually lies behind the script rather than the person acting it. But Moordenar made sure that they didn't get big egos.
Where did you learn how to act? You see this? This says beautiful. Do you know what beautiful is? It's not you. That's what it isn't.
Sorry. Do you want me to take it again?
Then why did you take it again?
How did I make the scenes seem so realistic? How did I make the murders seem so real? Why, me and my crew really murdered our actors and actresses. We killed and tortured every last one of them. We killed them to get the full effect of death. Wasn't it beautiful? Now I have to spend the rest of my life in prison.
Moordenar turned himself in to a local police department, admitting to all the murders he had committed throughout the years. And he says he's proud of it. He hopes that now that the secret's out, he can inspire others to follow in the footsteps. And that's the truth. We are artists, filmmakers, and murderers. As Moordenar says, death can be a beautiful thing.